After BTS made an appearance in the James Corden show, I got a lot of questions from some armies asking what was the purpose of them appearing on the show. Were they there to sort of put James on the spot? I don't know. Obviously, far be it for me to guess what what's on their mind. I think one of the things that they've proven time and time again is that their understanding of situations, people, and um, and things in general. In general, they're broader and deeper than what we expect. And so, I I don't I would I usually just take it at face value. But there are some things I know for sure that other armies would actually know as well. One is that they do love the armies. I think they've proven and said that time and time again, and it was reinforced by Jin when he told us that when in the brink of breakup, they decided to stay together because of two reasons: each other and the armies. And so that gives you an idea just how important the armies are for them. Second is that they have class. It's the kind of class that unfortunately is very rare in the world, but they have always behaved with so much grace. They've always demonstrated just how much they respect themselves, the same way they respect other people. So we also know that BTS decides for themselves. They can't be forced to do something that they don't want to do. They tell their agency what they don't want to do and what they want to do. They don't get forced into going anywhere or being with people or doing things, that they don't want to do. So if they do something, they will do it because they wanted to, not because they're being forced to do it. We also know that they don't repeat mistakes. We know that they've collaborated with people that then ended up not being the right people to collaborate with. You know who I'm talking about, and they never look back. They stopped and they never looked back. We also know that they are all smart, and this is not just textbook smart. They're intelligent. They're emotionally, they're very, very intelligent. And we also know that they don't lie. They don't say things just to make themselves appear good or something. They've always been very, very honest, and I think that's one of the reasons they make great songs, because they're very honest with their emotions. And so I guess you can take all of that together and ask yourself, will somebody of that character go to somebody else's? Would somebody with that character ever want to put somebody on the spot or retaliate? And then you can make your own assumption. But I think for me, what's more important than trying to dissect the objective of them appearing in the James Corden show, I think what's more important is to focus on the lessons that they lived by appearing in that show. One is forgiveness and second chances. BTS, as I've said earlier, they've always emphasized, they've made sure that the whole world knows that aside from each other, the entity they love the most is the army. And James Corden offended the person or that entity that they love. Yet they came back and they spent days and days preparing for a show, for James Corden show. They could have spent it resting or rehearsing for the concert, or doing or recording for a collaboration with another huge artist in the US. I'm sure they have hundreds upon hundreds of invitations from different talk show hosts and different TV shows in the US. And yet they chose to spend that day and spend all of those energy with James Corden show. They knew that appearing in that show would give James Corden such a huge boost in ratings. I don't know what happened in the background. I'm pretty sure, I mean, if I'm James Corden, if I am half of a decent human being, I would have reached out to BTS. I would have apologized and explained what happened. But I don't know that for sure. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But one thing is for sure, that they decided to come back. They made sure that everybody heard that they appreciated the forgiveness, appreciated the apology, and that they believed what he said, and then they moved on. And I think that is there is no greater demonstration of forgiveness than that. I mean, just think about it. If you relate it to yourself, if somebody offended somebody that you really love, whether that's your mom or your dad or your sister or your brother or best friend or whatever, or husband or child, and somebody offended them and you decided, okay, I'm gonna forgive you. Somebody offended them, and yet you extended a favor to that person, and you moved on. And I think that's the best demonstration of how to forgive and how to move on and how to give second chances. Second is that words are very, very powerful. When Namjoon said those words, I appreciate your apology, it was interpreted 1,000 different ways by million different people. And just it gives you it should have given everybody a good grasp of just how powerful words are. That's why we need to be very careful. We need to be very sensitive about what we say, because it has power. It can affect a lot of people, and it will always be perceived different ways. But they also, after he said, but he also made the effort to make it very clear what he was trying to say. After saying we appreciate your apology, he said, I just wanted to clear the air. And then Jimin said, I believe you. So they made sure that what they were saying were being heard. Number 3, they don't dwell on the negative. That's not who they are. They spent 2 minutes on that issue, and most of that was actually James stuttering for words. But they spent 2 minutes on that issue, and then they moved on. But they spent days preparing for the show and recording for the show. They don't dwell on negativity, and I think neither should we. And fourth, they are back with vengeance. That was such a great performance. I think they've spent their voices, my god, it's so sophisticated now. And I think that performance was absolutely live. There was very, very minimal backing vocals, and I think they've used the two years with no live performance to such good use, because they have honed their talent, and that is a proof of just how dedicated they are as artists. So looking forward to the concert. I will be watching, and Papa Mochi is back.